To his busy weekend for news. All right, showtime. All right, yes, I'm Brian. It is Monday morning, and man, we are a week away from, well, the Iowa caucus, and that's when the beginning of Trump saving America this year will begin, and this is a huge week. I'm going to go through a lot of stuff here in the beginning. And maybe I'll be going through things quicker than I normally will. I promise that I will try not to talk as fast as Ben Shapiro, who talks like an auctioneer. If I'm talking too fast, you can let me know. But a lot has happened. President Trump over the weekend had five speeches, and sadly, I only saw four of them. He did two in Iowa on Friday. Then he had three on Saturday in Iowa. One of them was not planned. He spoke to a group of young Republicans in Iowa. I did not see that one. I did not know about it till it was going on. But I watched the other four, and they were amazing, and we're going to get into it. Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis are like rats, running out of the crevices during the sinking of the Titanic, because both of their campaigns are sinking and sinking fast. And Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, they are handling their desperate exit strategies in very different ways. I want to start with Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley has done nothing but screw up. When Nikki Haley is talking, she does one of two things. One, she says something stupid, and two, she defends or tries to explain why she said something stupid the last time she was speaking. And since she had that town hall a week or so ago where she did not know the cause of the Civil War, it's been going down the tubes ever since. I mean, her campaign is as disastrous as Ron DeSantis with the high heel shoe thing coming out. So I want to share some audio. We got a lot to share on the program today. I'm going to start with Nikki. Because we're not going to have too much longer to talk about these guys, which is a good thing. The whole idea that there are candidates opposing Donald Trump, both candidates opposing him, the two losers, Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, are only where they are because of Donald Trump. So they have no loyalty. They cannot be believed. Nikki Haley said she wouldn't run against Trump, and here she is running. How can you believe her? And she's really a stupid person, and I don't say that lightly. And it's not because she didn't know the cause of the Civil War. She gave an interview in Iowa over the weekend when she, that old saying, she said the quiet part out loud. Let me just play it for you, and then we'll talk about it as we move through very quickly on everything that's going on. So this is Nikki Haley in an Iowa interview saying something incredibly stupid, but at the same time revealing. Listen.
But look, the structure of it is really pretty amazing. That Iowa starts it, you change personalities, you go into New Hampshire, and they continue it on. And by the time it gets to South Carolina, it gets bigger going into Super Tuesday. There's something very cool about the process.
Oh yeah, something very cool, like you're going to be out of the process real quick. Okay, so this thing, you go to New Hampshire and change personalities. This is the dumbest person to ever run for the Republican nomination. And that's saying a lot, because there's a lot of dummies that run for office. She's the dumbest of all. She is a puppet of some very bad people. You change personality. So what does that mean? How did she say something like that? Why did she say something like that? Well, because the people behind her are the old guard Republican establishment. Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, Karl Rove with his stupid dry erase whiteboard, the Bushes, Jeb and GW, the war criminal. And they have people that work for them, and they're all handling Nikki Haley. They're advising her, they're prepping her, And what's going on here is this. She's got a bunch of old-timers who may have been sharp campaigners in the 1980s and in the 1990s and maybe in the early 2000s. But they were great campaign people before a little old thing came around called the internet that has social media and all kinds of things out there. And back before the internet and the social media part of the internet, this is what candidates did. They'd go to one state and they'd say one thing. Oh, yeah, pigs. Pigs. I love pigs. I love corn. And da-da-da-da. Then you go to another state. They don't like pigs. They don't like corn. And you say, I hate pigs. I hate corn. I like this. And these advisors to this idiot, stupid puppet who has the brain power, Nikki Haley's brain power, is equivalent to that of Kamala Harris and AOC. They sit her down and say, oh, Nikki, when you go to New Hampshire, you're going to change your personality and you're going to have these other... You're not supposed to say that on interviews, stupid. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. How is she someone that you would put in charge of anything when she's so... It's one thing to do that. It's another thing to actually say it with smile in your voice and a grin on your face like that's how it's done. Oh, yeah. You do what you do in Iowa, then you go to New Hampshire, you change your personality and change your positions, and then, yeah. And that's just how it's done. You lie. That's what Nikki Haley said. Maybe AOC and Kamala Harris are a little smarter than her. They say dumb things, but they don't say the private stuff from the meetings from the handlers on television. I don't think I've heard something like that from AOC or Kamala. Have you? I've never heard a politician say something like that. The closest that this ever happened was not a politician. It was Ed Schultz, who was a liberal jerk. He was on MSNBC, and he had a national radio show, and he was being broadcast live on C-SPAN, and he was talking. He was talking, and I was watching this on C-SPAN, and he was talking about dumbing things down for the low information voters. And low information voters is something that Democrats use in their own private meetings when they're talking about the dopey Democrats that vote for them. But you're not supposed to say that on national television or on the radio, and Ed Schultz said it. Low information voters. Yeah. Low information listeners he had too, because if you were listening to him, you were stupid. Well, I guess I was watching because they were on C-SPAN, and I wanted to see the behind the scenes of the radio. But I've never seen something like this. Oh, yeah. I love it.
But look, the structure of it is really pretty amazing. That Iowa starts it. You change personalities, you go into New Hampshire, and they continue it on. And by the time it gets to South Carolina, it gets bigger going into Super Tuesday. There's something very cool about the process.
Yeah, very, very, very cool about going around in line to voters, Nikki Haley. Oh, my goodness. Dumb as a doornail. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is... It doesn't get better than this. Now, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio this year. And this is just the beginning. We've got a lot to cover between now and 9 a.m. You won't want to miss one moment of today's program, I promise you. All right, my name is Brian. We'll take our first break of the week and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action.
Can you think, I want you guys to think about this now. Can you think of a politician running for office who has said something equally as stupid as Nikki Haley said there? Can you think of one? I'm racking my brain and I can't think of one. What politician has said something that stupid? And it shows how much she's handled by these puppet masters and ventriloquists. Wow, Crystal is in Iowa and is a caucus captain for Trump. Cool. Do you get a caucus captain hat? A cool that's a cool hat. That's awesome. Oh, not even with her word salads, because what Nikki Haley is doing there is she's giving the private instructions out on the air. Oh, cool! You get the cool caucus captain. Does it say caucus captain or caucus captain for Trump on it? That's a very valuable thing. If you could get that, oh my goodness, that's like a family heirloom. Oh my goodness. That is pretty awesome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, please like the video. I got so much to get into today. Yeah, it's something that a politician running for president said equally as stupid as what Nikki Haley said there. I really can't. Yeah, the quiet part out loud. Yeah, saying the quiet part out loud. The closest is when Biden reads in the parentheses, end of quote, stupid stuff, but not like that. That's like an instruction she said out loud. Yeah, you go to New Hampshire and you lie. It's so cool. What a dummy. What a dummy. It's over for her. I mean, she's just too stupid. I mean, I don't know how she functions. How does she dress herself? A little chilly in Florida today. It's in the high 50s when I left my house this morning. All right, this is the last commercial. We'll be right back. We'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, Carrie Lake is a woman. Sarah Palin's a woman. They don't talk like that. Melania. Elise Stefanik. Marjorie Taylor Greene. You don't hear any of our MAGA women talking that way.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world that...
Yeah, I've been racking my brain all weekend and this morning trying to think of a candidate who said something as stupid as Nikki Haley in that last clip, and I really can't think of anything. The closest would be like John Kerry. I voted for it before I voted against it, but this is the quiet part out loud. She is a puppet, and she said out loud what the ventriloquist puppet masters say to her when she's driving around. Now, I want to talk a moment about William Youngerman. You know, he's our gold guy. He's been with us for many, many years. You know, when William Youngerman joined us on the Steve Kane Show, gold was at $435 an ounce. Can you imagine? Look, we're like over $2,000 now. But, you know, William Youngerman is located in Boca, but no matter where you are, William Youngerman can sell and buy from you. You know, and I want to tell you, this is a couple of things. There's a lot of people online that have these online companies where you can buy the metals from. I'll tell you a couple things about that is bad news. One, they add so many charges to the metals above and beyond what they should be. You're paying so much more for the gold and the silver. It's insane. With William Youngerman, you get a lot more gold and a lot more silver for your money than you do with these online places you hear about. But here's another thing about these online places. You know, when you buy your gold, your silver, any of the metals from these online dealers, you know who you're dealing with? You're dealing with a telemarketer. Think about that, a telemarketer. So you're dealing with a telemarketer. First off, you're going to be paying way over what you should be paying for the gold and the silver. But you're telling a telemarketer where to send gold and silver and giving your home address. That doesn't sound too smart, does it? Who knows who he is or she is and what they're doing with that information? That sounds really dumb, like Nikki Haley dumb, to be doing business with these online sellers. William Youngerman is a small family-owned business, and you know William Youngerman has been in the metals business since 1967. He was a little kid when he started. I'm serious. That's amazing. Here in Florida, and that says a lot. So when you do your transactions over the phone, no matter where you are, Whether you're here in South Florida, throughout Florida, America, or the world, everything is safe and confidential. You're dealing with William Youngerman and his great, small, expert staff over there, and you get more medals for your money. Give him a call. His number's toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. If you missed that number, you can get it off his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, 1-800-327-5010. All right, now, I want to play this clip. Mike Pence was on with Jake Tapper and said something crazy that I want to play for you and ask you a question at the end. I'm going to ask the question at the end. But all weekend long, it started Friday with Joe Biden, who gave the most angry, nasty speech that a president of the United States has ever given. It was all about Trump, January 6th, and those of us in America that support and have voted and will vote for Donald Trump. All right? And what Joe Biden did on Friday with this Valley Forge speech was declare that over half of the voters in this country, because Trump's going to win this time, are domestic terrorists. That's what he did. It's crazy. He was so angry. You know, people that are suffering from age-related dementia often come off angry. You know why? Because they're checked out. And they think if they're angry and they're yelling, that they sound alert and with it. They just sound senile, pissed off, and incoherent. But that speech that he gave on Friday was ugly. And then the media, because January 6th was on Saturday, the media, the liberal fake news media, spent the whole weekend trying to build this thing up about January 6th. They're trying to make it a day that will live in infamy and all this stuff. And they're really pushing hard. And Mike Pence was over on CNN talking to Jake Tapper, who's a monster. He's a monster. And his staff on his show are some of the nastiest tyrants I've ever seen. I'm not going to go through it now, but Jake Tapper's producer sent thugs after me and Laura Loomer, and it was really crazy. Jake Tapper's producer tried to have me arrested with Laura Loomer. I'm not kidding. The only reason we didn't get arrested is because the cop they went to listens to me and knew me. Otherwise, I would have been arrested because of Jake Tapper. Yeah, these people. So anyway, I think it was Jake Tapper that had Pence on. I'll find out. I'm pretty sure it was. But anyway, this is Mike Pence. They're talking about January 6th, and Mike Pence says something at the end, and I'll ask you this question afterwards, okay? Listen to this, okay? Mike Pence, snake, sleazeball. Hold on, let me turn it up here. I turned it down because I didn't want to hear Mike Pence during the break. Here we go.
Of course you have.
Yeah, that's Jake Tapper. Okay, yeah, Jake Tapper, CNN, Mike Pence.
Of course you have. Donald Trump still talking about it. Do you want to just take this opportunity to clear up this lie that the FBI was leading the charge on January 6th? It's obviously not true. I'm sure you know it's not true. Do you want to make that clear to the voters?
You know, I've seen the director of the FBI repeatedly assure the American people that the FBI were not the instigators of the riot that occurred on January 6th. And frankly, I'm very grateful for the efforts of the FBI to bring nearly 1,000 people to justice who ransacked our Capitol and did violence against police officers that day. But you're right. We've been assured again and again that it was not the case. And I just must tell you, having been there that day, I mean, to see people literally breaking windows, ransacking the Capitol, it just infuriated me. I remember thinking, you know, not this, not here, not at the United States Capitol. And I believe everyone that conducted that riot at the Capitol needs to be held to the fullest extent of the law. I'm pleased that many have. But I've never been given any information. I've heard the many repeated assurances from the FBI that they were not involved, and I take them at their word.
Okay. Now, okay. So, I've heard many instances that they've denied the FBI. I take them at their word. All right. What's going on here? Why did Mike Pence do that? This sounds like a hostage video. I know he's a sleaze bucket, okay? And his wife thinks he's a sleazeball too. You know how I know that? Because she won't let him be alone with a woman. Okay? I've known guys whose wives will not let them go anywhere alone. I've known guys who, if you call them on their cell phone and it's not business hours, the wife answers. And they never allowed to go out without you know why? Because they've cheated on their wife, or the wife thinks they have. Okay? I'm not saying that's happened with Pence. I'm just saying the guys I know whose wives don't let them alone and all this stuff usually are guys that have cheated on their wives, and the wives are right there. So why would he do this? First off, does this sound like forced? I want to apologize to the peaceful people of Vietnam, to the for the war crimes that I committed. Right? These are like the Hanoi Hilton tapes. Does this sound this thing with Mike Pence? Does it sound like a hostage video? I mean, he seems like a sleazeball to me. He seems really scummy. The kind of guy, Mike Pence, that they have the the manila envelope, they send it to you and say, wink, wink, do this or you're done. Now, I'm not defending Mike Pence. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But why would he go on CNN and say something so absurdly stupid? The whole thing's stupid, but at the end is the dumbest of all.
Of the law, I'm pleased that many have, but I've never been given any information. I've heard the many repeated assurances from the FBI that they were not involved, and I take them at their word.
Yeah, the people that break into Mar-a-Lago have given me their word. They weren't there. And notice how they focus on the FBI. It doesn't say the government or federal agencies or federal agents or anything. It says the FBI in particular, which even if at best it's a half-truth. But do you think they have something on Pence? Do you think that they have something on Pence to make him say what they want him to say when they want him to say it? That was just so weird for Pence to be a part of this January 6th weekend, try to hype up the event, trying to make this a 9/11 Pearl Harbor event that they've almost made it a national holiday. And it just seemed very strange to me, even for this guy, Mike Pence. Now, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. I told you, we got a lot to cover today. I'm going to be going through a lot. This is the first full week of the new year because, last Monday was New Year's Day. So this is the first week of the new year. It is Monday, January 8th, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Now, let me know in the chat, guys. Yes or no? Does it sound like they got something on Pence to make him go out and say what they wanted to say? Yeah, I mean, that just to me sounded like a terrified man, not like a normal thing. Yeah, definitely. Okay, it's not just me. Because I heard that, I'm like, what would possess him to say something so stupid? Yeah. Oh my goodness. What a joke.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Both north and southbound sides
Yeah.
of 95 and the Turnpike passing Okeechobee Boulevard completely up to speed.
Yeah, it was like a script.
Fresh from Florida.
Yeah, a Hanoi Hilton interview.
Fresh from Florida Health. Learn what's in season and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting Fresh from Florida.
I know, it's hilarious. Freaking hilarious. Oh, man. Now, guys, if you don't mind, if you could take this video, take my videos and share them on whatever other communities you're in. Your Truth Social, your Facebook, your groups you're in, your Twitter, whatever you're on, X, your Discord servers, your Reddits, wherever you are, if you could share this video and this channel, I would appreciate it. This is the most pro-Donald Trump MAGA place you will find anywhere. I promise you. And keep an eye out tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be dropping a new podcast here on my YouTube channel. You won't want to miss that. With my wife. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I'm not sure where... I got so much to cover. I'm not sure where to go when we get back. So much to cover. They don't have dirt on Trump. There's no dirt to have. There's no dirt to have on Trump. That's why they don't like him. They can't control him. But that Pence thing, that was... Oh. Now I'm going to do a mix. I got, we're here till 9. I might take some calls when we get back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Yeah, that thing with Pence, it was just so bizarre. And this whole thing that his wife won't let him alone with the women and stuff like this, my goodness. His wife doesn't even trust him. He tries to turn that into some positive, but it's not. It's his wife doesn't trust him. I mean, that's obvious, right? I mean, do you guys agree with me that Mike Pence's wife does not trust him? Jake Tapper's nasty. Nasty. Very nasty. Yep. Okay, good. So it just wasn't me. Back shortly. Oh yeah, Judas Pence. Mm-hmm. All right, this is the last commercial, and we'll be right back. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years.
All right. Yes, we are back 33 minutes after the hour. 47 years on the air. The Steve Kane Show. That's right. This is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE. 1, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I want to talk directly to the Vice President of the United States, okay?
Kamala? Kamala Harris?
No, the legitimate one.
You said you said the vice. You're talking about Pence?
Oh, yeah, him. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about Mike Pence. Okay.
Yeah, Mike, I want to address Mike Pence. First of all, I trust you like I trust Adam Schiff, okay? That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
The FBI, you went on Jake Tapper's show in front of the American people, and you were assured by the FBI that they had nothing to do with it. But that's a strange thing, because the head of the FBI, Christopher Wray, in front of Congress and the Senate, refuses to answer that simple question that you're so sure of. They've asked him that 3 times already. So yeah, I can answer that. I can't give you
Yeah, so, that's a good point you make, Richie. So I've heard Christopher Wray say he cannot answer that question. So how does Mike Pence know the answer to divulge it to Tapper?
He doesn't. And I go by what I see. What I saw was most of the damage that day was done on the exterior of the Capitol building with the breaking of windows and doors. Okay? But the inside, I saw people walking like they were on a tour guide. They were actually let in by other police officers, the back end of that.
Mm-hmm.
So the cameras were focused on the front. Now, we all know what happened there. That was a riot. But some of these people are sitting there 3 years already to have in front of a judge.
That's right.
I mean, this is not the United States. It's supposed to be the speeding truck.
No, this is the Soviet Union.
So it doesn't happen in the United States when you're a MAGA person. You got a president of the United States right now that sits up there telling you that you're a domestic terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to vote for Trump.
Yep.
People trying to take Trump off of a ballot that have, away from me, you, and everybody who wants to vote for him from another.
That's how you preserve democracy. You take the leading candidate off the ballot, then you've preserved democracy.
I mean, this whole thing.
That's what Biden said. That's what Biden said on Friday. This is how you preserve democracy.
Angry old person. You call him an old coot. I mean, you hit the word on your podcast. He is twisted. He is mentally twisted. He's angry. He's twisted. And whoever wrote that for him, like he reads word for word, quote for quote, period for period. I mean, the guy is just reading. He has an empty head up there, and we're being controlled by people that we don't even know who the hell.
That's right.
Oh, the word about the FBI being in there, I would say, yeah, I think the FBI was there, and I want to say another thing. What happened in the White House when 144 officers were literally hurt? And they try to get into the White House with a president.
Well, what Richie's talking about that is BLM and Antifa attacked the Trump White House, and over 100 Secret Service men were injured in that attack. And then if you remember, Nancy Pelosi and the media laughed at President Trump because they took them to the secure part of the White House because the White House was under attack. They thought it was funny. Yeah, isn't that something? That's not an insurrection? White House attacked?
Then the media, the Democratic buddies, got up there and said there was a peaceful demonstration in the park with the church, St. John Church.
That's right. That's the one they burned. That's arson. Yeah, that's arson. Hey, Richie, take care. Have a start of a good week. Okay, now I got a question for you. The Defense Secretary, he's still in the hospital, by the way. The Secretary of Defense, who's a pretty stupid guy, if you've seen him in interviews, he's really dumb. Not as dumb as Nikki Haley, but he's pretty dumb. We have 2 wars going on. We have all kinds of attacks on this country directly by China. The Secretary of Defense is in intensive care, and the White House did not know. The White House did not know. What would have happened if we were attacked over the while Lloyd Austin was in intensive care and no one knew? How would the chain of command have operated? Like on 9/11, if Rumsfeld was in intensive care in a hospital and no one knew about it at the White House and 9/11 happened, how would the president give orders to the military to take action to defend the homeland? You wouldn't be able to. Lloyd Austin should be fired. And by the way, not only should he be fired, anyone under him who had knowledge of him being in intensive care and did not tell the White House should also be fired. And maybe some people that if they're in the military, I don't care if they're 4-star generals and admirals, should be court-martialed. But with all this talk about the White House not knowing that the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, was in intensive care, okay, this is a question I have for you. And this question was not asked by any of these deep state operatives known as, your Fox News and CNN anchors and anchorettes. The White House did not know. Joe Biden did not know that the defense secretary was in intensive care. But did Obama know? This is very important. And Mike Johnson, our Speaker of the House, with his one-seat majority, I mean, this is insane, needs to get to the bottom of this yesterday. And this is what I suspect. And this is what I think happened. I don't think Lloyd Austin didn't let people know that he was in intensive care. I think he let know the person who's running the show. And that's Barack Obama. What do you guys think about that? Was Barack Obama briefed that the Secretary of Defense was in intensive care? By the way, he's still in the hospital from the last report I heard this morning before I came to the radio station. What's going on here? Can you imagine? We've got the war in Ukraine. What's going on in Israel with these terrorist attacks against Israel and everything that's going on is insane. China is all over this country. The southern border, we're being invaded from the southern border. I was reading a story today, thousands of Africans flown to Central America and they're on their way to the southern border. I thought they were fleeing climate crises in Latin America. What do these Africans do? What was the carbon footprint to go to Central America from Africa? What's the climate crisis there? So there were a lot of crimes committed with this Lloyd Austin intensive care thing. It's not funny. I'm hearing it reported and they make a joke. It's not a joke. He's got a very important job. And if he did not inform the White House, but informed Obama, there's crimes going on by these people. Because Obama, he's already had his 2 terms. He has no legal authority to control the government or give orders to the military. And if he and those around him there's crimes being committed. If there were people in the White House who knew and didn't tell the president, they've committed crimes. Who's running the country? Who really is running the country? People have been saying Obama. This is something to get to the bottom of, and get to the bottom of it right quick. You're not going to get it by Steve Ducey trying to get some viral moment with that other idiot, Christine Jean-Pierre. Because you're not going to get a straight answer from her. Or that, who's that weirdo guy? I forgot his name now. The Admiral? That weirdo. You're not going to get any answers out of him either. But maybe you could go to Obama's house and knock on the door and ask, was Obama informed? And I bet you he was. And once Obama was informed, they figure, hey, Commander-in-Chief knows. So it's okay. Nothing was done here that was wrong because we told the Commander-in-Chief, Obama. And I'm not kidding, by the way. This is a very serious thing. Our government is not operating in a constitutionally legal way. It's being run by unelected people who have no authority legally to give orders if Obama's giving orders, or staffers are giving orders, or the First Lady's giving orders to the military. So when Lloyd Austin was, in intensive care, who was running the military? Who was in charge of our military during this time? Does anyone know? Was it the undersecretary, assistant secretary, whatever they got? If it was, why didn't they inform Biden? There's a lot of questions here, and the media just think it's a joke, like it's funny, because the media are an arm of the deep state. That's why. My name is Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
The cold, hard truth.
Exactly. It's very dangerous. And it's not funny. All right, let me get organized here. Okay. Just getting organized for the next segment, guys. Make sure you guys like the video. Yeah, Kirby. Kirby's a weirdo. He's a weird dude, Kirby. Yeah, Defense Secretary is part of the cabinet. It's a cabinet position. Absolutely. Where am I? Okay. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. All right, callers on hold, stand by. It is 47 minutes after the hour. Again, 47 minutes after the hour. Coincidentally, we come back at 47 minutes after the hour, and this is the 47th year the Steve Kane Show has been on the air. That's amazing. Now, here it is Monday, the first full work week after the whole holiday period and of the new year. Are you in pain this morning? Are you aching? Stop. Go see Dr. Appleton. Talk to him about his laser away pain treatment and rid yourself of pain. Start the new year pain-free. His laser away pain treatment works, guys. He's rid me of pain 5 times, and you know what? The pain has not returned. The worst was my shoulder. I had an accident on my skateboard, and it was bad. I thought that I had permanently injured myself. I was in so much pain. I was on the verge of tears. After just 2 treatments, my shoulder pain gone with Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment, and it has not returned. It's amazing. It's amazing. Here's his number, 954-973-0710. With the laser away pain treatment, which, by the way, Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself, there are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, and it is 100% painless. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Go see Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Happy New Year to you. Hey, Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, what's up?
So here's my thought, my concern. If the deep state has its tentacles so far deep in those who should, would be in charge of holding people accountable, what hope do we have to have these people accountable?
Well, because Trump and those he picks around him are not people that are compromised. Unlike Nikki Haley, I think it's a safe bet that Marjorie Taylor Greene, Kristi Noem, and Carrie Lake have not had sex in their government offices with men that they're not married to. All right? So so you got to trust the people that Trump picks.
Yeah, and you're right. You have a point, and it's frustrating because some of these people are getting called out, and it's great to see them and hear them being called out. But it seems like that's the end of it. It's like, all right, so they're called out, and they're put in front of a judicial hearing or whatever, and they're sitting in front of a mic, and they may have to answer some questions. But then it seems like that's it. It's over. Like what happened? Where's the follow through? And it's frustrating.
The follow-through is Trump winning in Iowa next week, and then winning in November, and then that's the follow-through.
All right, well, fingers crossed. Hope you're right.
All right, take care. Thank you for the call. And an unrelated story, I want to share something with you. And this is very important. You may have seen this story. It's out of Texas. Texas cops find a 30-year-old woman locked in a garage where she was drugged with crack cocaine and raped for nearly 5 years after a 52-year-old rapper snatched her when she was pregnant. He's been arrested on kidnapping and holding a woman hostage after snatching her off the street nearly 5 years ago. He's been charged with aggravated kidnapping after police discovered the victim locked in a garage attached to his home in Houston. Officers broke the windows of the garage where they found a dog and a mattress inside in an area police believe the victim was held captive. Authorities said when they found the approximately 30-year-old victim in April, this happened a while ago, she was malnourished and weighed just over 70 pounds. She stated she had not showered in 2 months. The victim said she met Carter, a rapper, 4 or 5 years ago when she was pregnant and panhandling. Carter pulled over to give her $1, then returned shortly after, told her if she got in his car, he would give her help. Then for the next 4 to 5 years, the victim said Carter kept her locked in his garage, repeatedly forced her to have sex with him and take drugs, pills and crack cocaine and other narcotics, causing her to become physically unable to leave the location. The victim was able to use Carter's laptop and contacted police via the Text Now app. She previously tried to escape by breaking one of the windows and crawling out. She was taken to the hospital, but he picked her up there, took her back to the garage where he boarded up the windows. And that's just god-awful. Okay, the reason I share this story, liberalism is responsible, American liberalism is responsible for so many deaths in this country and around the world. Democrat ideology has gotten so many women killed, kidnapped, and victimized. And this is very, very true. And, the phenomena of serial killers in this country, I know there's some exceptions to this rule, like that guy from the World's Fair in the 1800s. I read that book, Devil in the White City, but that's an exception. But the phenomena of serial killers in this country began in the 60s and 70s, and the serial killers had their peak in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Why do you think that is? Why do you think serial killers grew to such numbers, and serial killers pretty much exclusively rape and kill women? Why do you think serial killers grew in numbers so much in the 60s, 70s, and 80s? You know why? Feminism. It's when women started going out without an escort. When women started going out without their brother, a cousin, their dad, or a male friend, and women started going out on their own, that's when they started to get victimized. And that's true. And, unescorted women because of oh, I don't need a man. I can walk around all by myself. Yeah, well, And Ted Bundy, that sicko Ted Bundy, he blamed the women he killed. He said, they got in my car. I'm serious. He said that with a straight face, and he wasn't being sarcastic. He was insane. And I talk about this a lot. I see women jogging by themselves all the time when I'm coming to work in the morning. No matter where no matter what radio studio or station we were at, it's always early. And there's always women jogging by themselves. Are they out of their minds? That's what happened to that poor girl in Kansas. She was out jogging by herself and an illegal got her. There's this one woman that I see jogging all the time around here. You've probably seen her. She's got a dog, big dog. What's that dog going to do? And, if you haven't noticed, these mediocre guys, they go play on the girls' team and all of a sudden they break into world records. You have some, these women that are picked up a lot of times are in peak physical condition. And the guys that are picking them up are drunken, drug addict slobs that are out of shape, and they're still able to overpower the women. So all these stories like this, it's liberalism, feminism. Women should not be out unescorted. I'm sorry. Women should not be out jogging without a man. Your girlfriend or your dog ain't going to help you. The joggers are the dumbest because they run the same path every day. So these sicko stalkers, they know their patterns and they, and if you look in general at liberalism and feminism and all these things, nothing good comes out of it. And this story out of Texas, how many women are being held in these household dungeons of these jerks? Like that guy in Cleveland, remember that? He had the 3 girls? This is crazy. Crazy. And as the father of a daughter, I know. I've always hated it when my daughter goes out and she doesn't have a man with her. It's crazy. All right. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. What good comes out of liberalism? Can you think of it? If it wasn't for the feminist movement, do you know how many women are dead because of the feminist movement? How many women have been raped because of the feminist movement? Countless. More than you could ever imagine. There's nothing wrong with jogging with a man. The man is a deterrent. He doesn't have to know karate, okay? The man is a deterrent. Always. Women should really not be out unescorted by a man. Or at least a huge group of women. You got to have a large group of women or one man. That's it. I remember when I was in school, we had like the track team and stuff, and everybody had to run. The girls ran with the boys. They never let the girls' team run alone. That's crazy. Oh, man, I know. The countdown has begun. Our 5th annual cruise is coming up. We started these cruises. It was actually, I think our first one was in 2018. We got a little mixed up because they shut down everything for a year. Remember that? But this is our 5th annual cruise. We leave April 27th on the Celebrity Beyond. You're all invited. We're going to the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. This is my yearly vacation, and we just have a great time. And our cruise family grows and grows each and every year, and we have such a great group of friends and family on these cruises. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot and join us. We leave April 27th out of Fort Lauderdale, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. The Celebrity Beyond is the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines, and it is a beautiful, beautiful ship. I've taken a tour of this ship, and it is spectacular. 561-244-5779. We have shore excursions at every port of call. At one destination, we have 2. You don't have to go on all the shore excursions. I do, and you're invited to go on all of them if you want to. Call in and join us, all right? 561-244-5779. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. We'll get back to the politics that broke over the weekend. Don't go anywhere. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by...
All ships have casinos on them, Pat. Come on. I don't go to the casino. Sometimes I'll walk through it, but I don't gamble.
Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
My daughter likes the casino. I will not give my daughter money for the casino, though. When she goes to the casino, I make her spend her own money. I do not gamble. I am very anti-gambling. I just don't like it. All right, where am I going when we get back? I got so much to cover. Where am I? Okay, there we are. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone like the video. Over 1,000 in the live stream. I'm gonna get back to the Washington politics when we get back. Did you guys see Stefanik on Meet the Press? She's so good, Elise Stefanik. I love Elise Stefanik. She's awesome. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back after the news. Well, thank you, Darren. Got a big podcast tonight. So don't miss it. It'll drop at 7 p.m. here on YouTube. So check it. I got a big podcast coming tonight. You won't want to miss it. Oh my gosh, a door plug. All right, we're coming back in seconds. 13 seconds.
Since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, I was just listening to the news at the top. They said a door plug came loose and that blew the plane. That's why I hate to fly, and when I do, I get to the airport a couple hours early. I go to the bar, I have a few screwdrivers, and I never take off my seatbelt, ever, on the plane. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I'd like to say thank you for having those great podcasts over the weekend, and very good.
Thank you.
That'll build up.
By the way, you guys, what Doug saw over the weekend, I do this show on my YouTube channel. It's a live show I do Saturday and Sundays. I take live calls just like I do here, and they were pretty good shows this weekend, I thought.
That's right, without a doubt. When you have these dumb people running our government, like Nikki Haley and all the rest of them, you wonder why. This is exactly why they have such a low approval rating. I mean, I don't know why we have to have these people running our country, but man, it would be nice to have some good people. Hopefully Trump is going to pick all kinds of good people and stop fixing this. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah.
These people, Mike Pence, I mean, really, what a disappointment that guy is. And he has to open his big mouth and try to make...
It's amazing how many people around Trump betrayed him. Pence... DeSantis, Nikki Haley, there's a bunch of them.
Traitors, backstabbing people, man. I'm hoping President Trump will pick some good people this time. It's hard to tell. You never know what the evil lurks in the hearts of men.
But on Friday, Biden had that ridiculous angry American speech. He declared half the country domestic terrorist is what he did. It was crazy. And at the end, he had to be rescued by Jill Biden went up because after the speech, it was about 30 minutes long. He was so exhausted, he got confused. He didn't know where he was or where to go. And they got this racket where Jill goes up and hugs him like she's just running up to hug him. She's really showing him the way off stage. President Trump over the weekend did 4 speeches. 5 speeches. He did the one that was unannounced at the youth group. He did 5 speeches in Iowa. And he did 2 on Friday, flew back home to Palm Beach, flew back to Iowa, and did 3 more on Saturday, got back to Palm Beach at 1:30 in the morning. He landed at Palm Beach International. And I was going to go to the airport to greet him coming back, but it was raining and it was so late, But and he's filled with energy and is still going. And Joe Biden gives one 30-minute speech, and he has to be rescued by his wife and is so out of it, he's lost and confused at the end of it on how to get off the stage.
Whatever go-go juice they're giving him wears off too quick. So he's shot. That guy is shot. I can't say how anybody can want to vote for this guy.
Yeah.
What I wanted to mention something is, did you hear that the electric cars have 80% more possibility of having problems than a gas car? 80%. So that's why they say...
Why? What can go wrong in them? What goes wrong in them?
Well, they say that the squeaks and driving, the rack-and-pinions are bad.
Ah.
Yeah, they say. And they say that the manufacturers are now protesting. They don't want this demand that Biden's putting on them. And they're trying to stop it because this is ridiculous. Hopefully, the first thing Trump will do is get rid of that, and we'll have.
Well, if somebody wants to have an electric car, good luck. I mean, it's America.
But you got problems with the batteries. The batteries are all bad.
I love it. I watch a lot of YouTube videos of electric car owners, and they all just they hate them. These are people that I saw this one idiot, right? He's got excuse me, my throat's dry. Let me have some of my coffee. You mind? I'm all choked up. Trump's going to win Iowa in a week. I saw this one guy. He has the Tesla SUV, which is like minimum $80,000, right? And it broke 100,000 miles, and he was testing how far he could get on the battery. So we turned off he's in Vegas. It's freezing. He turns off the heat. He drives around, and the battery is about 80. It's about 80%. He can get less than 200 miles on the car, less than 200 miles, and that was without any air conditioning or heat on and everything else, and driving like slow. He wasn't even on the highway on a long road, and I mean it's nuts. I talked about this a few weeks ago. I saw one guy. He's got that new electric truck, the Rivian or something. And he was driving from his house to the dealer, which was like 300 miles away. He was having such a hard time finding charging locations. He got off the highway. He got off of I-95 started driving through people's neighborhoods looking for houses with Teslas in front of them and knocked on a stranger's door who had a Tesla and asked to borrow his charger. Could you imagine? Can you imagine?
That's ridiculous. Not only that, then everybody's saying that they're getting headaches and everything else because of all the electric on the car.
What really did them in though was after the big hurricanes in Florida when the flooding caused them to burst into flames while people were in them. That was nice.
Yeah, I was in the Sunday deal, and they had I forgot the name of the other one. It's a beautiful looking car. I said, how do they sell it? And they nobody buys it. It's just there to look.
You know, when I went to Los Angeles and my daughter, you know, she flew, and I wanted her to pick me up at baggage claim, and she says, "No, I gotta just drive around in circles and pick you up on the curb." I said, "What?" She says, Oh, the mic just fell off the stand. We'll fix it during the break. If you're watching on YouTube, the mic just fell off the stand. I'm holding it. She said, if I park, she said, there's all the spaces are for electric vehicles. She'd have to park like half a mile away to get a non-electric parking spot at LAX. You know, all these virtue signalers out there. Anyway, appreciate the call, Doug. I don't want to get sidetracked on that. So Kristen Welker. Good luck finding. Oh, I found the screw mic. We'll fix it when we get back. The Meet the Press hostess, Kristen Welker. Let's take the break early so we can fix the mic, and then we'll come back and talk about what happened on Meet the Press yesterday. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Here, hold that down and I'll...
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work
I've got
done,
the screw.
I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now in Boca and Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional. And
wait, take it down for a second.
Guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station, so don't use the rest.
It comes loose constantly. If you ever notice, I'm always tightening it. I'm always tightening it during the show. Always. Al Knight has had the same thing happen, but he's here by himself. It's a two-person job to get that back in, right?
Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral.
Oh, you see me during half the show. You see me I'm always tightening it throughout the show. I just didn't do it today. All right. Okay. See, you guys get the behind the scenes. William, thank you. Pence was a strong disappointment. Exactly. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. That's it.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at...
All right, we're back, and we fixed the microphone, and I grabbed it, though, I think pretty quick. It fell out of the stand, and I grabbed it in my hand and kept broadcasting, so we did. All right, so it was like, it's in the 50s this morning. I don't know what it is now, but it was in the 50s when I woke up this morning, and I had no idea because I was sleeping in my MyPillow flannel sheets. Oh, my goodness. You know, the MyPillow flannel sheets, everything Mike Lindell makes is high quality. Low prices and high quality. And those flannel sheets, they keep you so warm and toasty during these cool winter months, depending on where you are. It's cold, man, to me. 50s is cold. But during the summer, they keep you the perfect temperature, too. But, man, sleeping under those flannel sheets last night was spectacular. And right now, with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, you can get the MyPillow flannel sheets, just $29.98. They have a whole bunch of new colors and patterns in the flannel sheets. I'm going to have to show this to my wife. We have 2 sets of them, but they've got a whole bunch of new colors and patterns that look really nice. Just $29.98. By the way, that's $30 off with our promo code Kane on the MyPillow flannel sheets. You can use our promo code Kane on all the specials there, not just the ones I talk about. But, man, those flannel sheets, I had no idea it was cold. I was like, perfect. And then I got out of bed and I realized real quick, those flannel sheets are amazing. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, so let me get to this. Meet the Press. Meet the Press. This, Kristen Welker, we'll talk about her, but let me play this clip first. This is Meet the Press.
President Biden ramps up his general election campaign. There are new warning signs. The Washington Post reporting former President Obama has raised questions about the structure of President Biden's re-election campaign. 2 sources confirmed to NBC News that Obama and Biden met over lunch in December and discussed the campaign, with Obama expressing deep concern about Mr. Trump's political strength. Underscoring the urgency, one source telling me this is an all-hands-on-deck moment.
Okay, now a couple things here. Kristen Welker. So what is concerning to Obama? That the majority of the people love and support Donald Trump. All hands on deck! All hands on deck! Democracy at work! All hands on deck! How can we stop democracy? My goodness. Who cares if Obama's worried? Who cares? Well, because he's running the show, as we were talking about earlier. And then Kristen Welker had Elise Stefanik on. And I'll tell you the backstory of Kristen Welker in a moment, but she's part of this thing that President Trump uses Hitler's speeches, right? That's part of her false narrative that she puts on fake news, Meet the Press. This is Elise Stefanik, who's very good. I mean, look what Elise Stefanik did to those lady presidents of the university, right? She exposed them. This is Elise Stefanik on Meet the Press yesterday.
I want to ask you, you talk about moral clarity. I want to ask you about something that former President Trump recently said. He referred to migrants as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country. This is language that the Biden campaign, others, says, quote, is parroting Adolf Hitler.
Okay, now my understanding of Adolf Hitler is that he spoke German, not English. And while President Trump is a very, very smart man, I've never heard it. Does he speak German? You know, I watch all his speeches, all his rallies, and I'm missing that part. You know, Melania speaks a whole bunch. I bet you he speaks a little Slovakian, because Melania. I bet Barron speaks Slovakian too. But anyway, back to this.
You talk about moral clarity. I want to ask you about something that former President Trump recently said. He referred to migrants as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country. This is language that the Biden campaign, others, says, quote, is parroting Adolf Hitler. Are you comfortable with former President Trump's comments?
I like how she says this. Parroting Adolf Hitler. If you say it with added emphasis, it makes your fake news sound credible, right? Parroting Adolf Hitler. What a jerk she is.
Yet again, we have the media, which is so biased, which is reiterating whatever the talking points the Biden campaign is giving. I'm giving you the opportunity to respond. I'm just giving you the opportunity to respond. Our border crisis is poisoning Americans through fentanyl. It is poisoning people, including in my district, who are dying from overdoses of fentanyl. And you know why? Because of Joe Biden's wide open border, that executive actions he took on day one. So yes, I stand by President Trump. And President Trump also has he has the strongest record when it comes to supporting supporting the Jewish people and supporting the state of Israel, whether you look at the historic Abraham Accords or whether you look at the ability for Jewish students to sue and stand up for equal treatment at schools under the Title VI executive order that President Trump put into place, not Joe Biden.
And by the way, his daughter's a Jew, she's married to a Jew, and his grandkids are Jews. Does that sound like Hitler, Kristen Welker? I tell you, this fake news, and let me tell you what a liar and a fraud Kristen Welker is. Kristen Welker clicks off all the boxes. They put her on Meet the Press. Kristen Welker is one of the most politically connected people in all of the fake news media. Here's a little something you did not know about Kristen Welker. Unless you've listened to me for a long time, you've heard me talk about this before, but this is very important, and I believe it's inappropriate for her to be on anything called news, unless she does a disclaimer, right? Unless she does a disclaimer at the beginning and end of each episode of Meet the Press, then it would be okay, but she doesn't. Kristen Welker and her parents spent Christmas Eve and Christmas morning at the White House with President Obama and their entire family. Think about this now. This is when Sasha and Malia, before they were around smoking weed like Cheech and Chong all the time. You ever see them? They're either drunk or smoking Cheech and Chong joints, Sasha and Malia. They were little girls at the time, okay? How connected do you have to be to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas morning with the President of the United States, his wife, and their little kids, Christmas Eve and Christmas morning at the White House? Kristen Welker and her parents did. And this goes back to this common theme that keeps popping up today. Obama's running the show, right? Kristen Welker even said that he had a meeting, and they were talking about the defense secretary. Did Obama know and all this stuff? I mean, why is she so connected? I don't know. I mean, her family, I guess, are rich donors. But how can she be, Meet the Press, Tim Russert, he wasn't the founder of Meet the Press, but he was the guy on there during, years ago. He passed away. He was a Democrat. He worked for Mario Cuomo and some other Democrats. But you knew it. He didn't hide it. And I thought he was pretty fair and balanced. Tim Russert used to moderate debates and such, and he was pretty bad. Kristen Welker, she tries to pass herself off as just some journalist girl who I'm the first minority woman to host Meet the Press. She didn't get where she is because she's a journalist. She got where she is because she's in with Obama, and she's part of the Obama machine that is running this country right now. And I think that's more than obvious. And what I told you about Christmas, Google it. You'll find the photographs. How many people, I want you to think about this. You've got little kids. It's Christmas morning. Who's at your house on Christmas morning with your little kids opening up presents? Maybe grandparents. Maybe. The grandparents, a lot of time, come over later in the day. Do you have friends over? Do you have business associates? Who do you have over Christmas morning opening presents with your kids? Short of the grandparents, no, I've never heard of such a thing. That's how connected Kristen Welker is. And she sits there and acts like she's some fair and balanced journalist, questioning the integrity of the greatest president of our lifetime, maybe ever, President Trump. Exactly. Even George Washington profited from office. Why do you think D.C. is right up the road from Mount Vernon in Virginia? Because he made a deal. Right? George Washington. Abraham Lincoln was a railroad attorney. Don't believe all that log cabin crap. He was a railroad attorney, which was like, the big industry at the time. And then what did he do? He built the Intercontinental Railroad. He was a corporate lawyer. He was on the take. They were the, Google and Facebook and GM of the day. Only President Trump is independent of all these people. The media Cannot be trusted. And it's probably always been like this. We just didn't know about it, and we didn't have alternatives like we have now. You know, when people talk about fake, you know, I remember there was a time when Meet the Press was like a show of record. And when something happened on Meet the Press, everyone talked about it. No one talks about Meet the Press anymore except me, and I don't even do it that often. It's gone to irrelevancy because people have lost trust in the media. You know, because the media, look at it, it's an, you know, Menendez, okay? This senator, Goldbar Menendez, that takes the bribes. They had a breaking story the other day. Some other bribes he took, I forgot what country it was from. That he did something for some other country. Do you know who was on the air on MSNBC when that story broke? You know who? Menendez's daughter. She's an anchor on MSNBC. The guy's taking bribe. Breaking news, Senator Menendez, more bribe allegations. His daughter was live on the air. Now, she threw it to another person so they could break the news. But she was in the middle of her broadcast and we got breaking news. We're going to throw it to, you know. That the media are incestuous. Incestuous. They're like the royal families of Europe in the 1800s. They're all incestuous. And with any incestuous bloodline, there's a disease. And the disease is never Trumperism. Okay? The media is a poison on our society. You cannot trust any of it. Look what happened on Fox with Jesse Waters. Did you see this? What's the name of the congressman with the pirate eye patch? I just forgot his name. I'm so hopped up today on this crap. I'm so pissed. What's the guy's name? Do you guys remember what's his name? And I don't like the guy. Oh, shoot. I just forgot his name. Somebody will tell me his name. And then I'll say, oh yeah, I should have remembered that. Crenshaw, Jesse Waters had some personal beef with Crenshaw, so they canceled Crenshaw on a Fox News interview that Jesse Waters wasn't even going to do. What's that about? I mean, I don't like Dan Crenshaw. Okay? He's a jerk. But Jesse Waters has some personal beef with him, so he gets canceled off of Fox News? Why is he even on TV after he let the tires, stalking his girls that work there, letting air out of their tires and coming in for the rescue? Really creeper. The media is a poison. You know, you hear Hannity a lot. Sean Hannity, you know, one thing he says a lot on his radio show is we are here to combat liberal media bias. Yeah. Maybe more than half of what we do in the new media, it's not liberal bias anymore. It's mainstream corporate media bias. They're an arm of the deep state. They're an arm of just messaging liberal, Democrat, deep state garbage to you, like Kristen Welker. There are those who say that the former president echoes the words of Adolf Hitler, with added emphasis. Yeah, whatever. I never heard Hitler speak English, by the way. Oh, boy. All right. Let's take our break for the bottom. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
All right, where am I going next? I know. Going by. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I got a good story when we get back. I tell you, you gotta love Trump. You got to love Trump. How could you not love President Trump, guys? If you love Trump, press 1 in the chat. If you love Trump, press 1. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a wannabe pirate. Yes, look at all that Trump love. Absolutely. MAGA for life, that's right. MAGA Monday morning, absolutely. Lots of Trump love. Absolutely. Eye patch McCain. It's so funny you mentioned that because I want to talk about Trump and McCain when we get back. Exactly. What's not to love? I speak no other languages, just American Standard English. Exactly. Welcome, everyone. Make sure you are subscribed and like the video, guys. And if you don't mind, share this video on all your platforms, whatever groups you're in. Your Facebook groups, your True Social, your Twitter groups, your Discord servers, your Reddits, wherever you are, please share my channel and grow the channel and the community. Let me queue up what I want to play. I need another minute here to get my audio queued up. Here it is. All right. We're coming back after this. We'll be back in 20 seconds. All right.
Celebrating 46 years.
All right, we're back. So Nikki Haley had a really bad weekend. I'll play that clip that I played in the first hour again in a bit. But Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis too, both Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis threw Laura Loomer out of events. The DeSantis one, it was at a restaurant he was stopping by, and Laura Loomer was sitting down having a meal. And DeSantis, they sent the cops after Laura Loomer. The first one, though, I'm going to play this. This is Laura Loomer. She had a ticket to a Nikki Haley event in Iowa, and Nikki Haley and had this very effeminate campaign worker. He went and got a cop, and the cop threw Laura Loomer out. So the voices you will hear are Laura Loomer and Nikki Haley's cop. Listen.
What's the problem that we're here for an event? Like, I'm just standing here.
Yes, you leave. Thank you.
Like, this is a presidential campaign event, right? Can you just explain to me, like, why you're asking me to leave? Can you just explain to me, like, why you're asking me to leave?
Because they want you to leave.
Why?
It's private property, miss.
Right, but it's an event. I'm standing here. Like, what's the issue?
Please gather your things and leave, please.
I don't understand, like, what's the issue if you work for Nikki's campaign? Why? I'm sitting here. I signed up for the event.
I told you. That's all I was advised. And now I'm asking you from the premises.
What's the point of having town halls if you're just going to kick people out? If she wants to be the first female president, then she's kicking a woman out of her event?
I'm not here to answer questions. If you have any comments or concerns, you can contact them.
Well, I mean,
I'm here to do security, so please move.
You guys sent me an email. I got your text blast, and it said to sign up for the event. So what is the issue?
I'm asking you nicely.
Well, I think I'm asking pretty nicely as well.
And I don't have answers for you, I'm sorry. I just got advised that you must leave the premises. That's what I'm here. So I apologize. Thank you.
All right. Well, I guess Nikki Haley's anti-woman.
Have a nice day.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Nikki Haley had a police officer remove Laura Loomer from a town hall. And my guess is she's afraid Laura Loomer may ask her about having sex in her government office, since Laura Loomer broke that story. Ron DeSantis' campaign did the same thing over the weekend, had a police officer remove Laura Loomer from a restaurant before DeSantis arrived. And Loomer, probably fearful Loomer was going to ask about the high heel shoes. Oh my goodness. Not a good weekend for those opposing Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Terry from Florida.
Hey, Terry.
They're going to take, hey, what's up? Hey, you know they're going to take Trump's name off all the ballots, right? He can't run because he's going to be found guilty of corruption.
Where?
They're going to take his name off all the ballots.
Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing?
Yeah, because he's part of the Antichrist. Everyone's the Antichrist ruling the damn country.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
See. This is what's concerning to me. This is what's concerning to me about you. You're a black man in America. This is not funny. This is serious. You're a black man in America, right?
That's true.
Okay. And I'm sure you're well aware that for centuries, black men and women had no voice, right? And women, and that's why we had Abraham Lincoln. And until 1920, women could not even vote. You know, black men could vote before white women. Did you know that? You know, black men could vote. As soon as the Civil War was over, black men could vote. White women couldn't vote until 1920. Guess white privilege doesn't really exist there. So what's concerning to me is this. You're well aware of the history of people being disenfranchised because the people that run the country don't like them, whether it's women or African Americans. So you don't like MAGA people. The people running this country right now don't like MAGA people. So to say because we don't like you or approve of you or disagree with you, you shouldn't be on the ballot. You should be one of the first that says, no. Just because I don't like someone or don't agree with them, they should still have a voice.
The KKK is a cult. The white supremacists is a cult. You know, Proud Boys are cults. All these people are cults. You think we...
Cult members Well, that's what the election's about. The people will decide. And if we lose, we lose.
If they're throwing out a lot of...
No, excuse me. No, don't you understand? Don't you understand? You know, the history of the civil rights movement is a history of the Democrat Party. The Democrats opposed blacks having the vote. The Democrats opposed women getting the vote in 1920. Did you know that? The suffragettes, the women who were active and got women the vote in 1920 were Republicans. The Democrat, you talked about Martin Luther King. You're familiar with Selma, Alabama, walking across the bridge, right? What was Martin Luther King leading blacks across the bridge to do?
Giving us the right.
No. They were walking across the bridge. No. You don't even know. They were Martin Luther King, and the great John Lewis, who I was proud to once meet and shake his hand, John Lewis. They walked across the bridge in Selma to vote Republican. And the Democrats came in with baseball bats and beat them down because they were going to vote Republican. Don't you understand that Donald Trump and MAGA are being treated like Martin Luther King and John Lewis and the others on that bridge in Selma today by the same party, the Democrats?
Are you really saying what I'm thinking you're saying?
What do you...
Compare the two. They're totally different.
The blacks on the bridge in Selma were Republicans, and the white people that attacked them were Democrats.
Okay, but what about the KKK, Proud Boys, and then white supremacists, and all these people who are
Those are lunatics, fringe lunatics.
Are they still part of MAGA?
No, they're not. They are not part of MAGA. They are not part of MAGA. But you're getting sidetracked. Don't you understand that the Democrat? Excuse me. Listen. Excuse me. Lincoln freed the slaves, right? Lincoln freed the slaves. Civil War, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you know when Lincoln was elected in 1860? Do you know that the Democrats did to Lincoln what they're trying to do to Donald Trump? The Democrats took Lincoln. Excuse me. The Democrats took Abraham Lincoln off of every ballot in every southern state. And they're doing that. They're trying to do that now to Trump.
Don't compare Trump to Lincoln, nor Martin Luther King, because he's nothing like them.
Oh, he's everything like them and much more. But what I'm talking about is the Democrat political process. When there is someone that is a mainstream populist politician that the Democrats don't like, what do? They took Lincoln off the ballot in all the southern states in 1860. They're trying to do it to Trump now.
He's got Jewish family that he don't even like because they're Jews, okay? So,
all right, I thank you for your call. I mean, he's not capable of this upper level thinking. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Ronnie W. from West Palm Beach.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie? Doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, everything's okay. I just want to clarify something real quick before I comment on something. Friday, you put me off the air because you wasn't sure of what I was said, and that's the second time. And I just want to clarify, I don't curse.
Okay, now I didn't say you cursed. I said I had to be careful. I did it as a precaution. I said you said something. I wasn't sure what you said, and I have to go on the side of caution when things like that happen.
Yeah, but I'm putting your mind at rest. I don't curse.
Okay.
That's number one. But getting back to what you're saying and speaking up to the gentleman that you were talking to, you're 100% right about what Abraham did, and the things that are being done to Trump are the same things that was done to Lincoln. So it's one and the same. And I mean, I don't understand how people can't see what the left hand is doing to the right hand. It takes two hands to wash the face, and one is not working with the other.
Correct.
That's how I look at it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Nikki Haley, that's their lost cause. those are issues we don't even have to really worry about no more because we're going to get our man in the White House that we need. We need him in there to take care of business.
That's right.
I say, if he is listening, please do not have any of those people in your cabinet, and when you get in, clean house. Do not waste time.
Okay, now when you say, because, you know, the president is home at Mar-a-Lago, he very well could be listening today. When you say don't let those people in your cabinet, you're talking about Nikki Haley and who else?
I'm talking about all those who have ran against him, that have secretly done stuff to him. Do not trust them. They are not trustworthy. They will never be trustworthy for him. That's the same issue we had with Pence. Look what he is saying. Can you imagine? I mean, a 360-degree turn. This guy is accused.
No, it's a 180. A 180. If you do a 360, you're back where you started. Hey, listen, I got to run for the break, but good comments. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey guys, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right?
I replayed his part last week when I was editing.
Yeah.
And it sounded like he said it.
Yeah, it did to me
He says
too.
He didn't, but I replayed it. I kept replaying
Yeah.
it. It sounded like he slipped.
Yeah.
He said he didn't, but
Yeah. You got to always be on the side of caution on
it's a
that.
good thing you did it because.
Yeah. I got a good ear for that. Believe me, I got a good ear for that.
I've seen it all the time with you. You always make sure.
Oh. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed. There's over 1,100 in the live stream right now. So please also, guys, like the video. That helps spread the word about the channel. Oh, my goodness. I haven't even gotten to half my show prep today. Now, listen, got a new podcast that's going to drop at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel here today. Don't miss it. It's a big one. You will not want to miss it. If you're on hold, hang in there. All right. Okay. We'll be back shortly. You know, it's so hard because a president literally has to hire thousands of people. Thousands. And how do you find that many people? No, I agree. Nikki Haley, DeSantis. We will be back in 15 seconds.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, we are back. Call us on hold. Stand by. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing? This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Okay. Yes. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to your crew. Y'all on the station. I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna make this very clear. Nikki Haley, run, sink the money. All you Republicans, you have no spine. Leave my great president alone. We have no time for y'all foolishness. I stand 100% with Donald J. Trump, all of them trying to take him off the ballots, working with the Democrats. Disgusting, and I am sick of you. Leave Donald J. Trump alone.
Exactly.
Jake and Donald J. Trump, if you are listening to this show and listen to my voice, my name is Maria, and I'm in Florida, and I'm a black woman. And it disgusts me when I hear black people make up lies, calling you all these different kind of names. Watch what you say about somebody out of their mouth. Don't come negative with this man. This man been through hell. He didn't deserve this. And I stand with him.
That's right. That's right. All right, Maria, good to hear from you. Oh, man, great calls today. Great calls. Oh, I want to tell you guys about William Youngerman, our gold and silver guy. He's been with us. He joined us right after Hurricane Wilma. So if you look up Hurricane Wilma, he joined us right after that, around that time, around Wilma. I remember that clearly. But, William Youngerman, no matter where you're located, you can buy and sell from William Youngerman. And I just want to tell you a couple things about William Youngerman that are very, very important. When he calls in with the Gold Report, sometimes I don't have time to go through all of this. And there's a couple things that are very, very important that I want to share with you about William Youngerman. No matter where you are located, even if you're in South Florida or anywhere in the world, or of course throughout America, you can buy and sell from William Youngerman. And I know there's a lot of online dealers where you can buy gold and silver from. You don't want to do that for a couple of reasons. One, when you buy from these online companies you hear about all over the place, they upcharge so much on the metals. It's insane. It's insane. They charge so much above and beyond what you should be paying for your gold and your silver or anything else you're buying from them, including your pre-33 gold or your collectible. You're paying too much. So when you purchase from William Youngerman, you're going to be paying the right and fair price. Okay. The other thing is, when you're dealing with these online metals dealers, when you are doing your transaction, you're dealing with a telemarketer. Now, think about this. Think about this. Do you want to tell a telemarketer where you're sending your gold and silver to? Doesn't seem to make much sense to me. Oh, yeah, here's my address. Send me all that gold and silver. You're talking to a telemarketer. Who are they? And what are they doing with that information? It's pretty scary to me. I don't think that's too smart. So you're paying way too much. And, that's going on. William Youngerman has been in business since 1967, and it's a family-owned and run business. You're not in business in a family-owned and run business like William Youngerman's since 1967, unless you have a lot of integrity and great word of mouth about your business, and he does. And here's another thing about William Youngerman that sets him apart from all these others. Anything you buy from William Youngerman, he will buy back. That's right. Anything you buy from William Youngerman, he'll buy back from you. It's amazing. Let me give you his number. Okay, now remember, no matter where you are located throughout America or the world, even if you're in South Florida and you can't make it into his shop in Boca, you can still do your transactions over the phone. Everything is insured and mailed to you and is secure. Here's his number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. If you missed the number, you can get it off his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, 1-800-327-5010. All right, now I want to ask you guys a question. I talked about this on my weekend show yesterday, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Ron DeSantis has dropped something to the media. He leaked something out of the media, and it's pretty big, and this is what it is. It was reported yesterday, and this was leaked to The Hill, which is a very credible political publication. And they have two sources. One is a donor, and one's a campaign insider of the DeSantis campaign. But this is DeSantis leaking this out to gauge public opinion. And here's what the story that DeSantis leaked out is. If he does not win in Iowa, not second place, if he doesn't beat Donald Trump in Iowa, this is the story, Ron DeSantis will drop out of the race and endorse President Trump, either that night or the day after. It was widely reported over the weekend, and I want to ask you guys a question about this. A couple questions. One, what do you think Donald Trump will do with that? He's going to lose DeSantis in Iowa. We know this. Right? The only question is how badly. It's going to be second or third, right, with Nikki Haley. If that's, and I believe what Ron DeSantis is doing, I believe he leaked that story to gauge public opinion, and didn't I not tell you he was going to do a Johnny Fontaine from The Godfather with President Trump? I got this guy, Ron DeSantis, down. I told you guys over a year ago that his height was going to be his undoing. Remember that? Remember when I told you guys that when I met him at Wings Plus? I said his height is going to be his undoing. Everybody laughed at me, and then it was the high heels. And I told you guys at the time he's going to suck up to Donald Trump and try to get back into the fold. What good is that endorsement? Is it worth anything? Do you believe DeSantis? Now, here's the thing I'll throw into, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Should Donald Trump embrace or reject Ron DeSantis at that point? And I don't mean hire him or give him a cabinet post to be secretary of something. But Ron DeSantis, when he drops out, can do one of two things. He can either spend the next 9 months on television and doing other interviews, attacking Donald Trump every step of the way, every day, or he can do interview after interview for 9 months, promoting Donald Trump and attacking those who disparage Donald Trump's good name. Which would you rather him do? Would you rather have Ron DeSantis defending Trump for 9 months or attacking Trump for 9 months in media? What do you think? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. This was widely reported over the weekend. I don't think the endorsement is worth that much. But I think it would be better to have him on television defending Trump as opposed to attacking him for 9 months. And it might help us a little bit. You know, I don't think the endorsement's going to turn the scales too much either way. Should Trump reject him? If Ron DeSantis drops out and endorses President Trump, as was reported from his campaign over the weekend after he loses in Iowa to President Trump, should Trump embrace or reject? You know, and you got to consider, I'm so ticked off at Ron DeSantis. I cannot even give you an opinion on that hardcore right now because he lied to President Trump and he lied to all of us in Florida. He pretended to be MAGA, and he just was really bad about it. He even had his kid dressed up in MAGA clothes as a baby, reading Art of the Deal to him. He even had his kid involved in it. So the couple of questions are, what do you think President Trump will do with that endorsement? Accept or reject it? And also, what would you like President Trump to do? All right, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. And, you know, I think DeSantis leaked the story because he wants to find out what Trump will say to that and what Trump supporters and MAGA will say to it. Because he's realized he's unelectable forever. So it's a Hail Mary. He's trying to be relevant. He knows he's done. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Rabbi David. How are you?
Hey, Rabbi. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I have the third question, actually, like, you know, that you gave an A or B. I think what he should spend his time doing, DeSantis, is running around and saying that I was misled by the Bushes.
Yes.
That would be a mea culpa.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah. I always liked Trump, but the Bushes really influenced me, and I'm sorry about that. You know, as far as Trump's concerned, I think Trump will accept it. He's not going to do anything with him, but he'll accept it and say, yeah, you know, I'm glad he came around. Look, he gave it a shot, didn't make it, but he's back, and that's great. You know, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I'd love to see him. That would really do it, because just coming, you know, people are going to ask him, well, you said this about him and this about him. How could you now turn around? You know, he's got to come up with an answer.
Yeah. So what do you think DeSantis is doing? It sounds pretty desperate, you know.
Yeah, he knows he's going to lose the caucuses, the primary, all these things are coming up. He knows he's finished, but now he's planning. What is he going to come home and tell his wife? You know,
Yeah.
So he's got to now, there's only one, there's go off in oblivion or back Trump. I mean, there's still two choices he has in front of him. It's not like, he's got some other thing in mind. So obviously. And
it would really need to be, him doing a very public apology and endorsement. Not some tweet or something. I mean, he would have to come to Mar-a-Lago and kiss the ring and have a press conference before I could even, But I wouldn't trust him. I'll never vote for Ron. I would never trust him.
No, never. But I think you're right, the Mar-a-Lago thing. You'd have to go there, close doors, and then come out and say, some of the things that I didn't like, but that I spoke against Donald Trump, I was misinformed.
Yeah.
And better now. That kind of thing.
Yep. All right. Okay. Good to hear from you, Rabbi. Good points. All right. You all let us know what you think. 1-888-GO Kane 1-888-465-2631. 2 hours down, 1 to go. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robe Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robe's winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're a lot cooler out there this morning than we were yesterday. We're in the low 60s, most spots 50s on the Treasure Coast. And we'll see very blue cloudy skies today, a little more clouds and sun cover, and it looks like we'll see a high in the lower mid-70s. I'm WPDF 25 personality meteorologist Pamela.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shop, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a Kirby's traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Keep an eye out for a disabled truck off to the left shoulder northbound on I-95 after Indiantown Road, and another crash on Lantana Road east of I-95. This report sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
Traffic service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Visit the poker room at PBKC with daily cash games, super high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments. You can also play your...
I'll be back, guys. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I got enough time. Right back.
7 days a week. Enjoy all the racing and sports action in the paddock with over 140 new HD TVs, plus a $10 all-you-can-eat game day buffet on Sundays to watch the big game. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com. Sloman's and their free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation is here for a limited time only. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and even you get a doorbell camera. Dial 833-283-5050 to get this limited time offer. A free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with installation of your Sloman Shield. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So here's the recap. You're getting an LED touchscreen pad, 10 contacts, backup battery, and service plan. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-ORV and you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. That's 833-283-5050 now to get your free doorbell camera and free home security system. 1-833-283-5050.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jersey Mike from West Palm Beach.
Hey, Mike.
Let me say something. I went to Jupiter Joe's. He spent an hour and 20 minutes with me in front of his desk going over all of my assets and advising me. But I'll tell you, that man is very thorough. He really knows what he's talking about. He's given me some very advice that I think I'm going to do right to that meeting, and I think that's going to help my life very, very much.
Call Joe Thomas for your free phone consultation and a free copy of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All. 561-743-0999.
If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back shortly, guys. Less than a minute. All right, callers on hold, stand by. Hour number 3 has begun. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, man, lots happened over the weekend. Oh, my goodness.
Marveling at all the wildness and craziness that's going down.
Yeah. Well, let's take a call or two, and then I'll bring up some of this stuff, because I got more, and I want to recap a couple things. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg.
You are out of control once again. You're suffering from DeSantis and Haley, Therese syndrome. You can't go without a show without bashing both of them unrelentingly. About DeSantis' height, by the way, you're not that tall either, correct?
Well, excuse me. I am about the same height as Ron DeSantis, but I don't wear high heels. And I don't lie and go around and tell people that I'm 5'11", like DeSantis told Patrick Bet David.
Let me ask you a question.
No. It's not about his height. I mean, I'm not some Napoleon. I'm 5'6", 5'7". I used to be taller. I have a curved spine that curves more as I get older, so I've lost height as I've grown older. And but I'm not wearing high heels or specialty shoes. And what DeSantis was doing was a fraud, was a lie to the people.
Listen, if that's the only attack you have on Ron DeSantis' policies,
No, excuse me. How long was he going to carry this deception? If he won, was he going to walk on high heels through an entire presidency?
In the big picture, grand schemes, is that very important?
Yes, it's about integrity. It's integrity.
Give me one other integrity attack you have on Ron DeSantis about his policies as governor.
Well, he changed the law of Florida for himself. The law of Florida stated you could not be governor and run for president of the United States. He changed the law for himself.
Did the legislature, or was it?
He had to sign it.
Who passed the law?
The DeSantis Bush Republicans in the state legislature, and he signed it. I don't know the names of the state senators. Do you think you're winning something here, Greg? I mean, you know, name another politician who changed the laws so they could run for president.
Listen, I don't know the history of...
Give me the name! Give me the name! Is that what you do to me and think you're doing something?
Okay, but let's get back...
Now, Nikki Haley. I think it's relevant that Nikki Haley has sex in her government office to a man she's not married to. It'd be bad enough if it was her husband, but it was with another man.
Did Nikki Haley admit to that?
No. So did OJ admit that he killed Ron and Nicole? What does that mean?
He did in his book.
No. He said that book was not a confession.
But listen, you're comparing O.J. Simpson now? Come on, I mean, that's like out of left field.
No, Nikki Haley would kill more. She wants to start World War III with Iran, okay? So O.J. killed 2. She would kill, I don't know, 2 million maybe.
see Iran taken out, wouldn't you?
He also, I'll tell you, both Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis both said they would not run against Donald Trump. And here they are. So they're liars. They lie. She lies to her husband. He lies to Floridians. I mean, they're liars.
Here's your question. Would you like to take out Iran, the biggest supporter of terrorists in the world?
No, I don't want to carpet bomb Iran and start World War III. No.
World War III, who's else going to get involved?
The entire Muslim world.
Which we're already fighting against, remember?
No, we're not fighting against them. Not at that level. By the way, Iran is allied with Russia, which is a nuclear power.
Russia, listen, is a third world country. They have nothing.
Do you have any content?
Okay, let's get back to your...
Stop with this annoying habit. Let me ask you a question. That in itself is a question. I mean, you keep saying that over and over. Just say what you mean.
It's kind of pathetic. Thank God for feminism. I have a daughter. You have a daughter, by the way, who moved clear across the country on her own free will, right? And you're saying feminism has nothing. How about equal pay for equal work? How about equalism amongst the labor force? That's not positivity.
What are you talking about?
No, you were bashing feminism. Tell me.
Yeah, feminism. Look what feminism has done. Feminism has gotten women killed in this country. This woman that was just found in the garage in Texas, that's what feminism did. A woman out alone without a male escort, and she got snatched. That's feminism.
You're talking about one isolated case?
It's not one isolated. Women are picked up and killed and raped and stuff all the time off the streets of America. Before the feminist, women didn't go out unless they had an escort, a chaperone.
Your daughter's clear across the country.
She's not alone.
Never? She's always escorted with somebody? Just a job?
What are you talking about my child for now? What kind of person are you? What kind of person are you to talk about a man's child like that? I mean, I want to ask you this. What kind of man are you to talk about someone's child like you're talking? Get off the phone. You got a little bit over the line with that one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
ID in Broward. Hey.
Yes.
Hey, what's up? Hey. Boy, does that guy really infuriate me. He never has, you said it, no content, nothing substantive, nothing to offer, no solutions, never bashes the Democrats, never says anything. It's always that little petty, roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, get Brian game when he called it. It's so childish and petty. I don't even think he has a company as a lawyer. I think he's a clerk in an office because he always comes with these petty game words, okay? He wanted you to take a time portal back to Nikki Haley and link it to see the actual sex act because he wanted to play word games with the documents.
Do you know that he can't? Greg too came to an appearance that Steve and I did years ago and did not come up and introduce himself. Because he's a coward. He's all tough. He's all tough on the phone. But he couldn't even come and introduce himself.
I'm going to speak as fast as Ben Shapiro. Listen, audience, television has always been a propagandist weapon against us, the people. The Mockingbird media is the CIA.
Yes.
Now it's MSNBC and CNN, ABC, PBS, and so forth. These people were at the January 6th. They were there at the Capitol. FBI agents were in the crowd. Okay, the shaman actually took a picture with an...
No, excuse me. Vice President Mike Pence said on CNN over the weekend the FBI had nothing to do with January 6th, and he takes them at his word. So are you questioning the integrity of Mike Pence? How dare you? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joe Ellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joe Ellen.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
So Greg, too, is saying, you're making a big deal about you talking about Ron's boots and everything. If you lie about the small things, what else are you going to lie about?
Correct.
Lying about something so petty as that. I mean, what's he going to lie about later?
Correct.
I would, if I was Trump, I'd take his endorsement. I mean, we need, doesn't hurt to get more people on our side, whoever that may be. But, I wouldn't put him in my cabinet anywhere.
Did that endorsement ever materialize?
No. It's a story. Ron DeSantis leaked a story to The Hill over the weekend that if he doesn't beat Trump in Iowa, he's going to drop out and endorse Trump either that night or the next morning. And DeSantis leaked this out to The Hill, and I believe he leaked it out to try to see what the response will be, to see if he has any hope of having any public career moving forward. It's a desperate move on DeSantis's part.
Well, he certainly mangled his campaign.
We'll find out a week from tomorrow.
Another quick point. Tucker has an interview with Clay Higgins, who is in the Congress, from Louisiana, talking about J6.
Yes.
It is awesome.
Yes.
And Mike Johnson, he thinks that he will. This guy is saying, Mike Johnson, he believes that he will release those digital tapes, which talks about
Mike Johnson. The reason that Mike Johnson, our new speaker, the reason that he's been slow on releasing more January 6 tapes, Mike Johnson's talked about this. He wants to conceal the faces of the people in the video. He's afraid that the government will come and arrest them. So they're covering the faces up of people in the videos before they release them. Look, they just had another arrest over the weekend of some J6 people. So
disgusting. Yeah. So anyway, that was very interesting. So anyway, you guys are doing a great job. Happy New Year, and
yes,
I'll listen to it.
All right, thank you, Joe Ellen. All right, we'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get on.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your
The globalists have given... This is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy.
I'm watching this guy who's wandering around the parking lot aimlessly. It's very strange. Weird-looking guy I've never seen before. I don't know what he's doing. Very weird.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, we're back, and I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here, and I'm going to ask you the most important question you're going to be asked today. Do you or someone you know have neuropathy? If you do, if you have it, I'm sorry for you guys out there. Unless you've gone to see Lighthouse Medical Center's experts over there, because neuropathy is living torture. You know, down in Guantanamo Bay during the days of waterboarding and all of that, if they would have given those terrorists in Gitmo neuropathy, they would have all sung like canaries and given out told us where Bin Laden was years before. It's that bad. It's not an exaggeration. You know, the numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling in the hands and the feet, the dizziness, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet, no feeling at all. It's living torture. And Lighthouse Medical Center has a treatment for neuropathy that works. Now, I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. It's 754-222-6642. And remember, no matter where you are located, Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy. If you can't make it into the office, whether you're here local and you don't drive and you can't make it in, or you're somewhere else in Florida or America, no matter where you are, Lighthouse Medical can help rid you of your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. If you missed that, just go to the website. You can find the number there, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. That's lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, we're back. Okay, so some people will say I shouldn't be talking about Nikki Haley. I shouldn't be talking about DeSantis. You know, I was over last week at Friendly Tire, and a guy came up to me out in the parking lot. Why are you talking about Nikki Haley? Why are you talking about DeSantis? You know, he was a listener, just wasn't some random guy on the street. Well, President Trump, he gave 5 speeches in Iowa over the weekend. He gave 2 on Friday because he's superhuman. He's not immortal. Yeah, he gave 5 speeches, and I want to play some of one of the speeches. This is in Mason City, Iowa. And you ask me, why do I talk about Nikki Haley? Why do I talk about Ron DeSantis? Because I'm following the lead of President Trump, who's trying to save America and our civilization. This is President Trump in Mason City, Iowa, over the weekend, and he seems to think that they're worthy of discussion.
Caucus, we're going to be in Iowa. We're not taking any chances, right? You know, we're spending a lot of money. The globalists have given her money. And you know, I know very well, she ain't going to do it. I can tell you, she's not going to do
That's
it.
That's Nikki Haley.
I know him very well. Both disloyal, both extremely disloyal. Him, I got elected. He was down at like nothing, came over, begged me for an endorsement. You know that better than anybody, right? Begged me for an endorsement. And he helped me a little bit with the impeachment hoax, number 1, impeachment hoax, number 2, 2 hoaxes. We had about 15 hoaxes. We have currently a lot of hoaxes going on too. They never stop. And you think they won't do it to them? They would do it to them too, but they would wilt. They would wilt. But he came over, tears in his eyes, I need your endorsement. And he was losing by like 35 points. It was over. And then for whatever reason, stupidly, I gave him my endorsement. And he went up like a rocket ship, and that was his only claim to fame. And he ended up getting it. And then I got him past the general election. We did 2 or 3 rallies. They were big, beautiful rallies. And I said, you're going to win. He said, I don't think so, because the man he was running against was the hottest politician in the country. I said, you're going to win. I'm telling you. I could tell by the rallies. The rallies were incredible. And he won. And then 4 years later, they said, will you run against the president? And he said, I have no comment. I said, that means this guy's running. And that was the end of him, right? So now in Florida, a poll came out today. I'm at 89 and he's at 9.
In Florida.
And now I guess he's fighting for second place, isn't he? They're both fighting for second place. You can have either one of them, globalists. But we're thrilled to be joined today by some incredible people.
There you go. So, President Trump is 80 points ahead of Ron DeSantis in Florida. I mean, that's insane.
It's all over with the show.
Well, it's interesting. Ron DeSantis, how he began his career with being on the coattails of Donald Trump was by begging and pleading for Donald Trump's endorsement. Now he's going to go back and beg and plead for him to be able to endorse Trump. You know what I mean? I mean, everything's traveling full circle now. And so that's Trump. That was over the weekend. Then, this is also from over the weekend. Let me pull this up. I wasn't going to play this, but since people are saying, why are you talking about Nikki Haley? Why are you talking about Ron DeSantis? This is President Trump over the weekend in Iowa.
People who fund Nikki Haley and Ron aren't working for your interests. They're working for the interests of other nations and themselves, and so are those two. Nikki would sell you out just like she sold me out. I mean, I'll never run against him. He was a great president. Why would I run?
Yeah, now she's running against him, even though she said that she wouldn't. So that's President Trump. He gave 5 speeches over the weekend. He mentioned them in all of them. So, Greg too, and all the rest. Why are you talking about? Well, you talk to Mr. Trump. President Trump thinks we should be talking about them right now until they're out of the primaries and we've got the nomination wrapped up. Then we'll move on. Unless they spend the rest of the year on television attacking President Trump, then it'll be another story. But if they lose and do the honorable thing and circle the wagons around the Republican nominee, President Trump, then it'll be a whole nother deal, like Ramaswamy's been doing, okay, for the most part, with some rare exceptions. And that's why we're talking about them. And that's that. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we come back, we'll take some more calls. We'll get into some more topics as well. Our number is toll-free, 1-888, go, Kane 1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Look out for an accident on Southern Boulevard at Fairgrounds Road and a disabled truck off to the left shoulder, northbound on I-95 after Indiantown Road. This report sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida go. Learn what's delicious and browse hundreds of recipes and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. It's not tracking every bite. That's tracking, not snack.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Showtime in the Paddock Restaurant, KC. Check the 2024 lineup with fabulous dinner shows like Yellow Brick Road, a tribute to Elton John on January 20th, Portrait of Aretha, Chris McDonald's Valentine's
1 minute. We'll be back.
Reading 46 year.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve here. So this Iowa caucus is a week away, and you know this. We got to. I keep telling you, Steve, we got to run like we're 60 points behind, not ahead. And the Iowa caucus, the way it works is so weird, where everybody has to show up at the same time in the evening. So you know, turnout is everything. I mean, it is. It's a crazy thing. And I know that if I were in Iowa, I would take Monday and Tuesday off work. There would be nothing that I would be lined up already if I could at the Iowa caucus site. Even though it's very important, and it's not just obviously Trump's going to win, but we need to win bigger than anyone has ever won in a primary before.
Up here.
Well, yeah. Well, that's if we run like we're 60 points behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we've got to really, I mean, whatever, you know, this thing that Ron DeSantis leaked out about if he doesn't win, he's going to drop out and endorse Trump. The internal polls that he has out of Iowa must really show him in a really bad state. I mean,
what is this stuff I'm reading about Boebert? You know these people, right? The inner circle.
Oh yeah, I was just saying it. Yeah. I don't know. She's going through a divorce.
They're hitting each other.
She said it's not true. She said that's not true. That's what she says. I don't know. I saw that over the weekend, and then today there's an update. Boebert says they did not get into a physical altercation. They hate Boebert. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. They are going through a nasty divorce. Okay? And there's been a lot of problems. They lost their family business. Their restaurant. They lost their restaurant. The property owner they leased the space from took the lease away from them, so they lost their family restaurant. They're going through a divorce. When people go through divorces, people say stuff. You know, anytime you hear someone say something about their soon-to-be ex during a divorce, you can't believe it. People get... You've been through this a bunch of times, right? I've never been through a divorce.
Never had a situation like that. I mean,
people say all kinds of stuff.
We're civil to each other.
Yeah.
These instances.
Well, maybe the other side was just happy it was over, Steve. You didn't have that problem. But those are the ones that go well. No, but people say all kinds of things during divorces. But I wanted to play... I played this in the first hour. I want to play this. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to play this clip of Nikki Haley, her latest mess up.
But look, the structure of it is really pretty amazing. That Iowa starts it. You change personalities, you go into New Hampshire, and they continue it on. And by the time it gets to South Carolina, it gets bigger going into Super Tuesday. There's something very cool about the process.
Yeah, the process that is going to defeat... This thing about her, you go to New Hampshire, change your personality, which means, you know, talk differently and take different positions. This is the dumbest person to ever run.
Good.
Well, what happened? She's stupid, and what happened here is she's just stupid. She's the dumbest person, not woman, dumbest person to ever run on the Republican ticket. What she regurgitated there, you go to New Hampshire, you change your personality, change your positions, talk differently. That's what her puppet masters, Jeb Bush and Karl Rove and Paul Ryan, have been telling her, okay? You're not supposed to say that on television when you're doing interviews, okay? and the fact that she is so stupid, she doesn't know that, she's unfit to hold any office. She's as dumb as AOC and Kamala Harris. She's dumb. She's dumb. She's dumber than a chipmunk. I mean, chipmunks, they collect all those things for the winter. They know what they're doing. She is as dumb as it gets. And that was, but you know, that's how it used to work before Trump came down the escalator. You know, our politicians were all handled by donors and campaign people who told them what to say, what not to say, how to say it, what positions to take, what positions not to take. You know, so this puppet master business that we got going on with Nikki Haley, this is how they all were until Trump came down the escalator. And this comment right here, I mean, and she's so stupid, she didn't even realize she screwed up when she said it. It's pretty cool. You just go to New Hampshire and lie. You know, it's pretty scary that it is. Oh, boy, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Lynn from Boynton.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, good morning. I just wanted to give you a happy shout out for Monday. And Ryan, I have to tell you that all your like talking about the My Pillow guy and all that stuff. My husband and I have had the sheets and the pillows for many years now. But we finally, I said, that guy Ryan, he's got some smarts, you know, so let me go try the bed topper, the mattress topper that he talks about. And so I ordered 2 for us for Christmas. And we had them on the beds and everything. And I'm going to tell you, I laid there the first half hour and I didn't want to move because I was so comfortable. And I wanted to let you know that, you know, if people out there do have back problems or anything like that, this is something you should really consider before other things. Because my lower back felt better the next day. I felt rested.
Well, you know, thank you very much. You know, the My Pillow mattress topper, which by the way is 40% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com. It turns your entire bed into a My Pillow, and it's like you're sleeping on a cloud. It's one of those things you've got to experience to fully understand it. But if you think you've gotten a good night's sleep in your life, you have not until you sleep on the My Pillow mattress topper. Well, I appreciate that.
I want to give you a good Monday call.
That's good. No, I appreciate it. Take care. Take care. Yeah, we have nice. This is the only show in radio where the callers and listeners do the commercials. And whenever you hear someone call in and talk about one of our sponsors, that is all spontaneous. It is not solicited. These are people that use our sponsors. And they call in and share their great experiences, and it's nice to hear. It really is. So you know this thing with Nikki Haley, Steve. Just to what does Jen Psaki say? To circle back with the saying the quiet part out loud. You know, Ron DeSantis is no better. I mean, whoever convinced him to wear those funny shoes. You know, I mean, people do things. And when you're a public person, people ask you to do things. Like I'll tell you, like one stupid thing somebody asked me and you to do once. This is so stupid, but you know, someone came to us at an appearance that we were at, and they had a copy of Michael Savage's book, and they asked us to autograph it. Now, I don't have any problem with Michael Savage. I mean, and I thought that was so weird. You did too, and we both said, we're not going to autograph someone else's book. It just so you know, you don't have to do everything that someone asks or that someone tells you. But see, these politicians like Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, they're not independent thinkers. They're all handled. They're spokesmodels, and it's really frightening. They're like Hollywood celebrities that have people lead them around, and they sound intelligent when they're reading scripts that were written by educated people, but they get, you know, I remember when Princess Diana died. Remember her driver was drunk and thought it was, as a drunk, he should drive over 100 miles an hour through the streets of Paris, and killed her. And I remember George Clooney had a press conference. He sounded so stupid in that press conference. I remember the Princess of Wales is dead, and he was like talking about paparazzi and stuff. And people were shocked at how stupid he sounded. And I remember at the time, I said, well, he's an actor. He sounds smart on ER because educated people with medical professionals write the scripts on ER. So he sounds intelligent, but when he gets off script, he sounds like your typical uneducated moron. And that's what you have with Ron DeSantis. That's what you have really bad with Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley, whenever she gets off the script, this prepared speech and statements, and she takes a question at a town hall or from a reporter, next thing you know, she's got to explain it or apologize for it. Whether she didn't know the cause of the Civil War, or she talks about how you go to New Hampshire and lie to the people of New Hampshire and change your personality and positions and everything. You know, she just... And you can't have someone like that in charge of anything, because they don't have the ability to make decisions on their own. And when you have what's frightening to me about Nikki Haley is how many of our presidents have been like her, completely stupid, and just did and said what they were told when they were told to do it, and were not capable of making decisions on their own. Maybe most of them, you know? And one of the things that Donald Trump has done is change the expectation of the American people for what we have in our leaders. We don't want puppets like Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. You want people that can make decisions and think on their own and think on their feet, you know? And this bit about New Hampshire has spread around a little bit in the media about Nikki Haley. She hasn't gotten a completely free ride on it, but they certainly haven't been showing her stupidity like they did. They tried to make Sarah Palin look like a fool when, what do you read? Where do you get your worldview? And they didn't like her answer, so they tried to say she was stupid. We're seeing real examples of it with this thing with Nikki Haley over the weekend. All right, we're going to take our last break of this Monday morning, and we'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The...
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals starting off this week?
Metals starting off giving us another buying opportunity as we've seen it bounce back and forth between some trading ranges. Friday, gold closed up $1.70, closing out the week at $2,045.30. Silver was up 19 cents at $23.17 the ounce. Platinum closed up $6 on Friday at $9.61, and palladium was down $16 at $1,010, continuing to its downtrend on palladium. The gold this morning down $22.30 right now. We've been finding support around that $2,020, and it went down there and tested that again this morning, kind of bouncing off of that area and moving back up right now to $2,023, down $22.30. Again, giving us a buying opportunity on a little bit of a pullback. Silver down 22 cents at $22.95 the ounce. Platinum down $11 at $950, and palladium down $25 at $985. Now, palladium's going to be under platinum pretty soon. It's the lowest it's been in many years. U.S. dollar index lower also. U.S. dollar index at 102.34. So the dollar continues under pressure to go lower. And that's pretty much where we're starting our week off.
Wow, I mean palladium. That's amazing. So there are coins that are made of palladium. What are you telling people to do with palladium? Is it, if people have palladium, should they hold, or is it a time to buy palladium? What do you recommend?
I'm still not recommending palladium. I'm still not convinced that it's not going to go lower.
Yeah.
I think it could be below the price of platinum pretty soon.
Wow. Now, when it comes to gold, how's it looking right now with those great American gold eagles and the American gold buffalo? How are those so far as buys right now?
Absolutely great values right now, the lowest premiums that they ever get to. So that's a great time to be buying them. You're getting a good price on gold right now and an excellent price on the U.S. products. So
oh yeah,
in stock.
Yeah, and that I'm assuming that's spreading to the very much in demand and sought after American silver eagles. Those are good buys right now as well, right?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Yeah.
We will have the 2024 Silver Eagles in 10 days.
Oh, you hear that, guys? Yeah, that's amazing. So, those of you that like your American gold and silver, this is the time. I mean, it's a great time. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. His number, toll free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop in. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right, back after this. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve is here, going back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't realize. I was listening to the recording. My name is Gwenda. I'm in Mobile, Alabama. I listen to your program all the time on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And just a privilege to be able to talk to you this morning.
Well, thank you.
And share my thoughts on President Trump and whether or not he should, I think your question was, should he accept Ron DeSantis's endorsement?
Mm-hmm.
Was that correct?
Yes.
What I would like to say to my beloved president is yes, please accept his endorsement gracefully. Please accept his endorsement gracefully, and then go on. If Ron DeSantis then goes on to bash Trump for 9 months, that will 100% guarantee his role in politics will be over in MAGA country.
Well, it's over already. I mean, no one in Florida is going to trust DeSantis, but I'll tell you this, okay? If Ron DeSantis drops out after he loses Iowa, which he will, and endorses Trump, I think Trump should accept it, and I'll tell you why. I don't think the endorsement is worth that much, but I would rather see DeSantis spend the next 9 months saying good things about Trump than being on television like Michael Cohen trashing him every day. And well, not if he's dropped out. What do you mean?
If he trashes him, then it will be an entirely different scenario.
Correct. Yeah. What do you mean how it works, Steve?
Before everything is settled, and then when things get settled, you make peace. That's the nature of politics.
No. Things are different with Trump. These uniparty people, they're not into mending fences with Trump.
That's perhaps a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, but I think Trump should accept the endorsement. Don't trust him. Don't make him secretary of anything. But Ron does, like, I'll give you an example. This stupid comment that Nikki Haley said, you go to New Hampshire and lie to the people after you leave Iowa. DeSantis gave an interview and just tore her down about that, and he was very good doing it. So I would love to see DeSantis spend the next nine months praising Trump and bringing down those who attack him, as opposed to being on TV attacking him every day. So yeah, I think we should don't make him secretary of anything. Don't trust him, but accept it and let him go on TV with Ramaswamy and say good things about you for the next 9 months. That's what I'd like to see.
Absolutely. And if President Trump is listening today, I'd like for him to know that when the election was started,
yeah.
But after that happened, within a week, I became deeply depressed, and I am still suffering from depression. I've had it analyzed and diagnosed.
Oh my.
Medicine, the whole 9 yards. I have been deeply depressed. The only thing that's going to heal me, and I watch everything all day long. I'm retired now at 70. I watch everything all day long on YouTube primarily, about what's going on in our world. Just listening for some glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
I hope he wins, because that is the only thing that will make me whole again and have some measure of hope and faith and trust in our country.
Well, all right. Well, good. So you hear that, President Trump? You're the cure for her depression, and it could be.
That is.
Yeah.
Trust in the Lord.
Yeah. Well, listen. it could be worse. You could be in Afghanistan. You imagine what it's like in Afghanistan, without Trump? Look what happened. They turned it over to the people that knocked down the buildings. They were executing people from our helicopters that Biden left over there. So you think you got it bad in Alabama?
I mean, we got a tough road in front of to the election.
Oh, I'm fine. I watched President Trump. I watched 4 of his 5 speeches over the weekend, and I saw nothing but positivity from President Trump.
I mean, there's no question of it. He's just, I've never seen a man with the basic skill of capturing the public eye like nobody stands a chance.
Yep.
I can't understand why they're front.
But Nikki Haley has a strategy. She's going to go to New Hampshire, change her personality, and lie to the people. And that's great, Nikki. That's great. Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
How you doing, Steve? How you doing? Following up on the call, Brian, I got to tell you, when you have a Trump rally scheduled on the weekend, it really gives you a boost and something to look forward to. When you don't have, I got to tell you, it's a down experience because these rallies are so sensational and so high energy. And I think this guy's probably one of the best communicators we've ever had in the Oval Office.
Ever. He's the greatest ever.
Oh, I think so. I mean, there are other great orators, but this guy, he connects with you, and he's definitely connected with the electorate that's out there now.
There's never been, listen, we out of every president we had, going back to George Washington, there has never been a president who connected with the American people en masse like this. He's not just a populist. He is the most popular populist we've ever had in American politics. And I know they want to say, oh, Leni Riefenstahl rally and Nazi and Hitler. They're just jealous. They're just jealous because they don't have the love of the people like President Trump has. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, has there ever been a president with more things going against him, trying to keep him out of office?
Well, this is what is amazing, okay? All this talk of January 6th that the Democrats are trying to turn into a national holiday. 3 years ago, would you have imagined that President Trump would be 80 points ahead in Florida? He's ahead of Biden in most every poll. He's ahead of Biden in most every poll. I mean, this is really amazing that what the American people want. And don't buy this BS that gas prices are low and inflation is down. Please.
All engineered.
Lies.
Running for president in his home state ever been walloped like this in the polls? 80?
In his own state? While he's sitting? No, but I do. I mean, I've seen people, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong about this because it's been a long time, didn't Al Gore lose Tennessee to George Bush? And he was the senator from Tennessee for a long time. And I'm pretty sure that but he wasn't the sitting senator when he lost Tennessee.
I think so, but my God, 80 points. I mean, this is, what's he thinking of? Is he really think he's going to turn around in Iowa in 2 weeks?
Well, when is the last time you heard someone say, there's only 2 people in Florida that love Ron DeSantis, Mark Levin and Dave Rubin. And they both recently moved to Florida, and they're just in love with, especially Dave Rubin. And I think he's got a crush on Ron DeSantis, quite honestly, Dave Rubin. He's a gay Republican. But the Floridians, when's the last time you heard someone say Ron DeSantis is free Florida? I haven't heard that in a year.
No. During the whole campaign, never heard of it, really. I mean, it's he really needs to come out and do the endorsements.
Well, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley and DeSantis both removed Laura Loomer from events over the weekend. Laura Loomer, with police officers, she was sitting down having a meal at a restaurant in Iowa where DeSantis was going to come in, and while she was eating, the DeSantis campaign had a police officer remove her from the restaurant. And she's a Floridian. She's one of his constituents. And he had her removed before he got there. He was afraid she was going to ask about the shoes, And Nikki Haley did the same thing. Yeah.
Was there something about a book signing months and months ago that she was removed from a book signing?
Yes, she was she was removed from a bookstore that he was at. And Nikki Haley had Laura Loomer removed from an event before she arrived too in Iowa over the weekend because she was going to ask about the sex scandal.
take questions from the people in the media. I mean, this is, you know.
I mean, look what we do. We take calls screenless, and hear these jerks I've talked to today saying things about my child, about all kinds of stuff. I mean, you know, we're not sending the police and stopping you from calling. We'll face anything. If you can't face someone who's going to ask you a difficult question, how are you gonna face down Kim Jong-un?
Me too. I mean, you're just not equipped to do it. I think that's one of the things that makes the show so great, Brian, is that you guys take the questions unscripted no matter what they throw at you.
And let me tell you, others don't do that. A lot of people claim to go screenless. They lie. We're the only ones who do it. And it's really, I don't think people realize, it's a risky thing. The reason people don't do it is they're afraid that somebody will ask something that they don't know the answer to.
So
I don't know everything. Steve doesn't know everything. I mean, you know.
When they take the questions, it's really great. It really is, and it speaks a lot for you guys. And that's why the show's been on for what?
47 years on the radio this year. 47 years this year. I'm counting. 47 years on the radio this year. The Steve Kane Show, the longest running radio show in Florida. Yeah. All right. It's good to hear from you. All right. Take care. No, and, you know, the screening, all these shows, they have call screeners and all this stuff. And, you know, we have someone here who could answer the phones. We don't. And, you know, taking the call screenless has its downside. Sometimes the calls are not the quality that maybe should make it to the air, but you deal with it on the air. And I think the thing about it is, I think it makes the show more interesting because you never know what's going to happen. It's more... Yeah, it's. I don't know what's going to happen. If you have a call screener and they have a name up there and a location, you know too much. You know, we find out when they're on the air, you know, and you never know what's going to happen. And somebody could get us. It could happen. I'm sure it's happened before. I don't remember the last time it's happened, but it could happen, and you never know. And I don't blame others for not doing it because it is very risky. You know, it's very risky because people could bring up anything. I mean, I had a guy call in once and accuse me of having sex with 5 men that he knew. Remember that? That was great. So what I told the guy, I said, hey, bring those 5 guys that say I've had sex with them in the studio tomorrow. We'll talk. Okay? But Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, they're afraid of questions. They have to screen who's in their town halls. That's why they kicked Loomer out with police over the weekend. It was almost like a Fauci town hall, the way they were behaving. Yeah. All right, we're out of time for today, but we will be back tomorrow. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio this year, The Steve Kane Show. That's right. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3
Hey guys.
and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach.
Hey guys, hold on. I got to get set up here.
Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rogue Studio. Injured recently? Call the Rogues Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. Rogues, winning for you and our community. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
Well, Chef Mike and Big T are at it again with their newest hotspot, the French Cafe in Delray Beach. Breakfast served all day, featuring bagels of New York City and to-go morning breakfast sandwiches. And don't forget to try the homemade chicken and waffles with jalapeno maple syrup, or their authentic whiz-whip Philly cheesesteak. And every weekend, check out the live music. Buy one and get one mimosa. The French Cafe, 814 East Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach, just west of the Intercoastal Bridge. Order online for quick pickup or delivery.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, how you doing? So, wow, some crazy. You could tell the Democrats and the Never Trumpers are not feeling too well today because they were all off today. I mean, we didn't hear from one. We heard from a lot of Democrats and Never Trumpers today, but they were all pretty incoherent, weren't they? Now, make sure you like the video and subscribe, guys, if you're new to the channel. And also, if you don't mind, share this video in my channel on all your social media and whatever groups you may be in. and spread the word about this channel. We've got a very busy day today, so we're going to have a great podcast that will be here on this channel on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern today, so don't miss that. A note on the front door. It's going to be a pretty good one, too. I'm not going to tell you what it's about yet. You'll see when I post it. But if you catch my podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern, we do a live premiere. So there is a live chat and everything going on during the podcast. It is, yeah, it's not sunny in Florida right now, that's for sure. Before I take off, I'll take a look at the chat. Just give me a second. Oh, boy. All right. Well, yeah, the liberal callers today, I mean, are just losing their freaking mind. I mean, there's no getting around it. And you can tell because it's getting close. After Trump has a landslide in Iowa, it's going to have a snowball effect of support. And the never-Trumpers and the Democrats, they're about to have strokes over it. Well, listen, everyone. Again, make sure you subscribe and like the video before you go. My name's Brian. Thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll see